is Stamp Crazy with Allison, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, BC, just on the west coast of Canada, just outside of Vancouver. So welcome to you guys who join me every week. I really appreciate it. And for those of you who've never joined me, welcome. So I'm just going to wait for people to pop on here. You can see that today we're going to be using Festive Friends, which is a bundle. So that means it has stamps and dies. And they are from the September 2025 online exclusives. And you may be thinking, well, where do I find the online exclusives? Because there's so much product there, you don't want to miss it. You will have to look on my online store, which you can find at www.shopcrazywithallison.ca. You'll be able to find all of it there, and there's a menu, and you can click online exclusives, and everything pops up. Now, for this set, if you don't have a die cutting machine, so you don't need the dies, you can just buy the stamps, and they're adorable too. We're not actually going to be using any of the dies today, so it's a good example of how you can get away with not using the dies if you just want to buy the stamp set. All right, so I'm just going to wait. Nobody's jumped on yet, so hopefully someone will in a minute, because it's only been a minute, and there is a delay with Facebook letting people know, and also YouTube letting people know that I'm live. But I will go over and make sure that I am live. So let me just check it out here. I'll just go online and see. It says I'm live on YouTube, but not a lot of people watch me over there. So I'll also see if I'm on Facebook here. So let's just have a look and we'll see. And I've got my fingers crossed that I am. Yeah, I'm over there live. So we'll just wait. I've been there live for 2 minutes. So there's Mo and Ellie. Hi, you guys. Thanks for joining. You're finally popping up on my, there you go. You're all popping up. All right, you guys. So let's hide this, hide my face, and we'll get started. All right. So Festive Friends, super cute. Now today I'm going to be making a card, a fun fold card. And when I look for fun folds, my first go-to person is my friend, dear friend, Connie Stewart. She is in Oklahoma, and I'm just going to show you her website, or her YouTube, I guess, is simply Simple Stamping. And she's very talented, and we're going to be making her Interlocking Z-Fold, although she probably said Z. So that's what we're going to be using. So you can head over there and find a whole bunch of really fun folds over there. Good morning, Jacqueline. How are you, friend? Hope you're doing well. So let's get started here. So the first thing we need to do is grab our card stock. So I started with a piece of 8.5 by 5.5. Oops, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, so that's just our regular base. Gosh, I gotta straighten up my surface here. There we go. Then I've got a piece of basic white, and this is cut to 6 and let's see here. It is cut to 6 3/4 along here by 5, and then it is scored along the 6 3/4 side at 2 and 4. Okay, so let's fold that and give it a nice crease with our bone folder. So we'll just do it on both of those. Okay, there we go. So we end up with something that looks like this. So we do have this extra, it's not even, it's not supposed to be. So there's kind of your Z, right? Okay. I've got a piece of basic white. This one is 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. You need 2 pieces of either cardstock or designer series paper. The screen keeps freezing. That's a worry. It could be on your side, love. Someone can tell me if it's not. Sometimes it's the bandwidth should be okay, but sorry if that's the case. We can watch maybe later, Jacqueline, or if you want, head over to YouTube. Sometimes it's a little bit better over there. My YouTube channel is Stamp Crazy with Allison. So if you head to YouTube and click there, you should be able to get there. Okay, or there was a link. You know, when I said I was going to go live today, there was a link to YouTube. You can maybe try it there and see if it freezes. So sorry. It's okay with Ellie. So Jacqueline, it's probably just your bandwidth where you are, and that can happen. It's annoying, but it can happen. All right, so you can either, I've got two, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm not sure if I'm going to use my DSP, maybe like that, or maybe I'll put this one here, or maybe, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So we'll work on that in a minute. First of all, what I want to do is do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to grab that basic white 2 5/8 by 2 5/8, and I've chosen the little elf. And now it's okay. Excellent. Good, good. Thanks, Ellie, for letting me know it was okay where you are. So I'm going to use Memento ink, and you guys know this, but in case you're new and you've never been to one of my lives, I use an uninked white craft pad that you can buy. We sell these. Comes with a re-inker of white. Don't use the white. Just use your Memento re-inker. I have not re-inked this since January, and it's still so juicy. So I'm just going to stamp my little guy there. And I'll show you why I love it. I find that if I stamp with my old Memento pad, which is a felt bottom versus a foam, it just doesn't get the crisp black. Look at the eyes. Look how crisp those are. They're all filled in. Where sometimes when you use the other Memento pad, you have to take a marker and color in, color in the black parts. So now I love it. Okay. Ooh, got on my nail. Let's, oh dear, my nose is running. Don't know why. Okay, so now I am going to have to make a decision if I want to use this. And I guess I will. I'll use this. Now, here's a trick. Connie recommends that you only glue around the outsides. Okay, so if you use snail, hi Keisha. If you use not snail, oh my gosh, you guys, seal, not snail, Stampin' Seal. Then you put it around the outside. But I don't use seal. I use glue, white glue. And I did my sample and I put my glue around here. But what happened was I stuck it on and that was fine. But when I put it through the die cut machine, because I have to die cut, it squished the glue. And then I got glue where I didn't want it. So I'm going to use my tear and tape. And then I know it won't squeeze out. I'm just going to put this around the edges. But if you use the Stampin' Seal, then you'll be fine. That'll work out for you. This paper is the Traditions of Christmas DSP. It is beautiful. Lots of designs. And it is the paper I'm using for my class. I'm having a class using this adorable stamp set, or bundle, sorry. And we've chosen the Traditions of Christmas Designer Series paper, and we've got some embellishments and some ribbon, which I'm going to show you. Now, for this, I'm going to take I'm not peeling all this off, because if I do and I go to stick it, it's stuck, and I'm stuck. Hi, Marilyn, how are you? So what we're going to do is we're going to peel a little bit off, and I'm going to just fold it so that, can you see it's now sticking out the margin there? I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. This is just a trick I learned 150 years ago. When I first started stamping, I used a tape similar to this. And then Stampin' Up! Came up with this one. So this is awesome tape. Okay, so now, see how they're all sticking out there? Oops, all onto the margin. That's fine. So now they're only sticky on the corners, okay? So I'm going to line this up so I've got it centered. And then I can go ahead and stick it down on those corners. just like that. But yeah, this isn't stuck though, right? Or this or whatever. So I'm going to take my little tab and I'm just going to pull it, and that's going to remove the backing for the tape, and we're going to get that so it's stuck exactly where I want it. There we go. So it's just a little trick. Okay, next I'm going to grab my, this is still my favorite die set, and that's the Stylish Shapes. So we're going to use the large one. Grab it, and I want to cut through the first two pieces. So I'm cutting through the designer series paper and the front of the card. Okay, now I'm going to grab some repositionable tape so it doesn't move. So just center that. Oh, that's helpful with the lines. I can at least make it straight. That was a nice benefit I didn't anticipate. So we're just going to tape that down, and I'm going to run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I do have to use the large one. If you were, I'm only doing designer series paper, so it's not as thick. If I had chosen to use the cardstock on the front, then that would be 2 pieces of cardstock, and you might have to run it through a couple of times. Okay, but we should be fine with just this. So I'm going to just carefully remove this, and now we've got our opening. There we go. And then these 2 pieces, let's grab those. And so this was Connie's trick, because by not gluing the whole thing down, you end up with 2 pieces, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to use this piece. It's going to be in the middle. Okay, I have to remind myself how to do this. Goodness. All right. Now, I also went ahead before I started and used another one of the dies. So it was this one here, this label. I cut out a piece from Old Olive. Okay, so I'm going to just set those aside. Now, let's glue something on the inside. I'm trying to decide if I want to also use the designer series paper on the inside. I think I might. Now, this time you don't have to worry about the, you can just put glue everywhere because you're not cutting anything out and you don't care. You want it to be stuck down. All right. There we go. Okay, so there's our, oh, and that was lucky. It kind of matched up. It doesn't matter. You won't see it, but that was just kind of a happy accident. Huh. All right, let's color our little elf. So I am going to use Stampin' Blends. And here we go. I just got a bunch of them. I'll tell you the colors as I use them. So I'm going to start with Real Red, the dark one. And I'm just going to scribble. Just add a little bit of, maybe add a little bit of dark here where the little crease in his hat is. And I'm going to go in with the light one, blending it where it, I've added the dark. I'm just going to go over that and scribble and blend. So you just get a little bit of contrast. It's not a huge contrast, but it does add a little bit of depth. Hope you can see that. I just put it here and there. Okay. Now his little tunic here, I've got Soft Sea Foam and Old Olive. So I'm going to use Old Olive. And this is just like, oh, I'm sorry. This is Mossy Meadow. I didn't mean to choose Mossy Meadow. That's not what I want. So just a sec while I wheel myself over here to grab my Old Olives. And I need a dark and a light. And I think I've got a dark and a light. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. Here we go. So I'm going to grab my dark. Oops. Dark. There we go. And I'm just going to put, I'm going to do the top part of his tunic. go along. I don't know. I'm not an artist, you guys, which is kind of obvious, but you don't have to be. You can just, okay. And this is the light. You see, I'm just blending that. And as it dries, you will get, it'll meld together. It'll blend. It'll be nice. I'm just going to do that. Okay. And then he's got that little button. I think I'm going to add dark old olive to that little button. Just, there we go. And then, move some of this stuff out of the way as I use it. I'm going to go in with sea foam, soft sea foam. And I'm going to use the dark because it's not very dark. Mittens there. There we go. So cute. And then let's see. I want some hair, so I'm going to choose lemon lolly. I've got dark lemon lolly. And we'll just color that in. Those little curls. He needs his boots. I'm going to do dark basic black. I don't use this black very often. I used to have to use it when I wanted to, you know, fix the fact that that memento wasn't dark enough, but I don't have to do that anymore with our little trick that we have. Okay. And I am going to put a little bit of, I'm going to ground him, meaning otherwise he's just kind of floating there. So I've got light pool party. I'm just going to scribble that under his feet, make a little place for him where he's standing. Could be ice, could be snow. Then we're going to color his face. So I've got dark pink, petal pink, but I've also got SU 900. These are the line of blends that came out a couple of years ago, which are flesh tones. So all the different tones that you can use for faces and hands. So this one here, I'm just going to color here. It's a light, it's quite a light one. Okay, go. Now I'm going to take the dark petal pink and I'm going to do his nose because it's a bit, you probably, and is kind of the inside of his ears. You might not see it very well, but just going to add a little bit of contrast there. Maybe around his, there we go. And then for his cheeks, I've got light bubble bath. And I'm just going to give him a little bit of a rosy cheek. Use maybe the brush ends a little bit. Here we go. There. All right. So let me move all that out of the way. So there's our little guy. Okay. So on this piece, remember this is a piece that's going inside. On this piece, I want to stamp some items here. What is the trick with memento to make it darker? Hi, Sandy. It is, I'll show you. Just give me a sec. Let me do this and then we'll talk about, I'll bring this back in so you can see. Okay. So let me just talk about it in a minute. Okay. So I'm going to ink up the tree in Lemon Lime Twist and I want it here because this is going to be like the inside where you write. I'm also going to grab We Wish You a Merry Christmas with Real Red. And I'm going to stamp that here. Oh, it is such a cute set, Sandy. So cute. We're running a class. I don't know if where you live. I don't know if you live in Canada or the US, but or anywhere. You could be in Australia for all I know. We're running a class and anyone can join. Doesn't matter where you live. Okay, so we've got the snowflake, balmy blue, and let's just stamp some flakes. And you're kind of moving your stamp so it's not kind of all the same way. And I'm stamping the panels here, the sort of the two panels. You don't have to worry about this panel. Okay. All right. So Memento ink, Sandy. Here it is. You've got, this is a white craft pad. We sell this. It says uninked white craft pad. So you get this. Can you see it says white pigment? It comes with a re-inker of white. You set the white aside. You're not going to use it. You're going to grab your Memento refill and you're going to ink up this. It's blank. When you get it, it's blank. So you're going to ink it up. And because it's a foam pad, it just takes the ink better. And it gets this crisp black. I have not re-inked this since I bought it in January. So that's the trick. This would be a great stamp set for Christmas tags. It would, wouldn't it, Mo? Yeah, it would really be cute. Really super cute. All right, so Sandy, that's the trick, okay? Don't need these. All right, next up, let's start gluing this. So for this, we're only gluing down. I'm going to give this another little crease here. We're only gluing down this back panel, okay? So we can add glue to that. Don't put glue on anything else. Okay, now you might be tempted to glue this in the middle, but that's not what you're doing. You're going to pretend that this piece is this size, okay? And if it were that size, you would line it up so that it was even all around, right? So that looks about right. So we're going to glue that down. So you can see it's favored over to the right side, okay? Then we're going to close our card. Okay. And then our piece that we cut out earlier, remember we had the two pieces? We took them apart. We're going to glue this to the inside, okay? So I'm going to make sure I'm doing this in the right order. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So easy. You can see where you're going to put the glue. You're only going to put the glue here on this little panel. Like I said, if you want some great ideas for fun fold cards, you head over to Connie Stewart. And if anybody doesn't, I think everybody that's on my call today, oh, I got glue on myself. If you don't have a demonstrator in Canada, I'd love to help you. I'd be happy to help you. So that glue's stuck there, but that's okay. I'm going to just use my adhesive remover. We used to sell these. And it'll just come off. You can just rub it. Comes off like, remember like when we were kids? Well, my age. Rubber cement. We used to play with it and make stuff. You're from BC under Melva. Oh yes, of course you are, Sandy. I can't see your full name. I know you. You're on my team. Okay, so now we've got this little guy who's going to fit in here. However, I want to take, remember that piece I said that I pre-cut using the stylish shapes? Give that a fold. So just sort of line that up and then give it a little crease, just like that. And then we're going to glue these two bits together. Put a little bit of glue. Oop. All right. Anybody can join my classes, Sandy. Even my team. I got lots of team members. Jacqueline comes, don't you, Jacqueline? Okay, so for this one, we're going to make like a little tab. Okay, so we want to make like a little tab. I'm going to want to make it big enough so that looks about right. Okay, so we put a little bit of glue here and we'll center that
just like that. Okay, now you have a choice. Oops, I'm gonna move that down a titch. There we go, that looks better. You have a choice. You can just glue this on, or let me grab my dimensionals. You can stick dimensionals on here, and it gives you a kind of a fun, because if I'd cut out the image and popped it up, then I wouldn't do this. But oh gosh, that was a lot of dimensionals. Good thing they're so cheap. You can afford them. Okay. All righty. So then this guy just gets centered here. Just like that. Okay. And so when you pull this, whoops, I'm losing it. You pull it, and you see it opens like that. If somebody doesn't know to pull it, opening it will just create the same kind of thing. Okay. Now, we've got all the basics done. So let's grab some ribbon. And what I'm doing now, I'm going to talk about the class. So the class features 8 cards. So 4 designs, 2 of each, and you get a goodie bag. Our goodie bag has the fabulous traditional sparkling sequins. Get a whole pack. You get half a roll of the gorgeous red satin ribbon. Can you see that it's got sparkles? I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. And then half a pack of DSP. So this is the traditional Christmas DSP. So you get half a pack of that. That's one side. And we used, of course, this is the one we used on our card today. I like this one. I don't have any of it left. I used it all up. Okay, so you get a PDF. And we joined together on October 26th. And we're going to stamp our cards. And then there's the videos that you'll have access to. So that's basically it. All right, let's tie a bow. And I realized I have to show you some other samples using this set. So let me. Keisha, did you get this set? You love animals or characters in animals. So I always think of you. Whenever I see a set kind of like this, I think, oh, that's for my girl Keisha. It's adorable. Yes, the layout's fabulous. So like I said, you guys, head over to Simply, what's my friend? Here she is. Simple Stamping, Connie Stewart. And I think it was August 7th. So go to her YouTube. That's the easiest place to find all this. So we got a little bow. So let's put our bow on. I'm going to grab, oh, I forgot to add something. I have to add something to my little character. So just give me a sec. So let's put our glue dots on here. There we go. That covered up that little glue mess that I had. Forgot. I didn't color in the brim of his hat because I'm going to use Winkostella. Just going to add it so it's going to look like a little sparkly or maybe a faux fur. It's a little, yeah, it's nice. And I like the sparkles. That's always nice. So there he is. Can you see the sparkles? I don't know. All right. Let's grab some of our sequins. And I'm going to use the champagne color ones. I'm just going to kind of one there and maybe a big one up here. And then another maybe little guy down here. There we go. So we've got our triangle. You know, whenever we put embellishments, we want to kind of create that triangle. So there's the card. This is the one I did yesterday. It's very fun to color, I know. And you're such a beautiful colorer, Keisha. I'll be looking. You should need to put it on your Instagram because I always look at your Instagram. Now, let me show you. I completely forgot to show you some, or to pull out cards to show you. I'm just going to make sure that I don't pull out the actual, no, the class cards aren't pulled out. Okay. So, super cute. That's the elf. Whoop. Here's the snowman. Now this one I used a wobble right? Remember I've shown you these. They're like a little spring. You can just get them online. Okay, so that's snowman. Here's another snowman. You can see, hopefully it's quite a lot of, yeah, I think you can see that shimmer from the Winkostella. Isn't that cute? So just sort of a different color scheme there. This one's cute. Now this one uses the paper. Oh, Keisha always helps me out. She's my technical expert. And I'm just looking, what is it called? She always tells me the name of these stamps. It's called North Pole Delivery. So it's in the mini catalog. So you can see that's the paper. Very pretty. And some other die cuts. We didn't die cut anything today. And you have some coming up. Great. What else did I do? Oh, I did this one, right, you guys? Yeah, we did this one. You had the wobble. And this one is another fun fold. This is using a lot of the dies from the bundle. So with that one. So did that one, and then we have the different color. Also a wobble. So this is also a fun fold. Okay, so let's put these away for a sec. So these are the ones that if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see. How do we get this all in here? Can I do that? Can you kind of see? You'll see a video showing you how to make those. Okay. All right. I wanted to show you a couple of cards that are fall related because we're, in fall now. We're in fall, right? So this one here is the Sign Design Bundle. This is from the online exclusives as this one. Super cute. Look at that. Now the paper is from the Gathering Together, also an online exclusive, you guys. If you're not on the online exclusive, you're missing out because this paper is stunning. And then this is the stamp set and bundle. And then there's also a folder. Okay, so I want to check that out. Same with this one. Paper, folder, dies. And then lastly, this one is from the Autumn Toll, from the mini catalog. And but that's the paper from the Gathering Together. And there's the folder. So you can mix and match all your stuff. It looks really great, right? This die, guys, oh my gosh, you have to get this die. This is Branching Out, it's called, and it's fantastic. Where's mine? I was going to show you. It's probably somewhere. It's somewhere it ought not to be. But anyway, Branching Out. Fabulous die set. Okay. Oh, hi, Jan. You came. Hi. I didn't see you sneak on there. The wobbles are so fun, right? They are so cute, Marilyn. Super cute. All right, let's move back over here, and I'm going to just look to see. There we go. Who's joined on when I didn't see? The DSP would work with the Branching Out. Absolutely, Mo. Absolutely. Thanks, Sandy. So cute. Oh, there you are. You jumped on when I wasn't looking, Jan. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming. North Pole Delivery. You see, you answered before I even looked it up. It's fun to color. We got all that, right? I think I said hi to everybody, didn't I? Yeah, I think I got everybody. Oh, you guys are so great to come every week. I really appreciate it. So I will see you on Wednesday. Tuesday is a holiday in Canada. It's a national holiday. So I'm hoping to get my Advent calendar delivered tomorrow. I'm hoping. And if that's the case, then I'm going to kind of show it. I'm not going to open it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who wants to wait. So don't worry. Don't think, gosh, I can't even go there because she's going to show everything. I am not. I'm just going to show you the actual case, okay? All right. You're welcome, Jacqueline. The Sunset Steer. It's stunning. Yeah, this was made by a friend of mine who I'm trying to remember. Oh, Keisha. It was made by Lori Wilcox. And she always does stuff like this, like the sunsets and stuff. Just gorgeous, right? That was a swap card.
Yeah. All right, you guys. So I'll see you Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Until then, I hope you get some time to stamp and get some creative time in. All right, you guys. Bye for now. Happy stamping.